I'm done with Matt Eberflus. No intro. You already know who the fuck I am. I am absolutely disgusted in my not 20, 15-year fanhood of being a Chicago Bears fan. I have never been disgusted of being a Bears fan. This obviously has to be the most low I have ever been as a Chicago Bears fan because a part of me this offseason, I wouldn't say part, a lot of me this offseason thought that things were finally going to change out. Last year, I said we didn't have the correct personnel with this coaching staff. No edge rushers, no cornerbacks. Only thing we really had was like a safety in there. We didn't have wide receivers, an offensive line, and we didn't have we didn't have good play calling. So I'm like, okay, get the right personnel in here. And even if we miss the playoffs, you'll see some improvement. And this year, Matt Eberflus, embarrassing week 1 loss to the Packers. Okay, it's week 1, okay? No big deal. Okay? Teams lose, good teams lose to weak teams in week 1 all the time. Week 2, you lost to Tampa Bay in the most humiliating fashion ever. Then you get backshotted by the Chiefs on America's football game of the week. They took it off. Do you want to know which game they flipped it to? The Arizona Cardinals, a team that was actively tanking because they had Joshua Dobbs as quarterback, and the Dallas Cowboys. Granted, the Cardinals won, but you know when you're bad when they flip the game over to a team that is actively worse, that's supposed to be worse than y'all. You blew a 28-7 lead against the Broncos, a game that you had that your quarterback broke so many the records of most completions by a Bears quarterback and had his best career day. You were on a 14-game losing streak and you ended it against the Commanders. And then the following week, you lose to the Vikings. Justin Fields gets hurt. My always saying is, Matt Eberflus, who have you beaten so far in your Bears career? As we all know, Matt Eberflus is 5-20 as a Bears head coach. One of them, Trey Lance. Where is he? He's the third string quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Davis Mills, same thing. I don't know if he's a second stringer or a third string quarterback. Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, trash quarterbacks. Your only win that you could say that you won against a average quarterback was the Commanders, and you beat Brian Hoyer. You know, it amazes me how Bears fans continue to say that Justin Fields is the biggest problem of the Bears. Not the offensive line, not the head coach, not the defense. It is one man only, and that is Justin Fields. And I've been telling us Bears fans that this is far beyond a Justin Fields problem. We could have any quarterback, top 10 category that you can think of. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Tua. Who else? Who else? A top 10 quarterback that you can think of. And this would be no different. Because you want to know why? Our offensive line besides Darnell Wright and Tevin Jenkins, all of them been horrible. Larry Bourne, horrible. Cody Whitehair, washed. Lucas Patrick's taking up all the money. And Matt Eberflus thinks that the culture here is good. And I love how some Bears fans says, you know what, this could be like the Detroit Lions last year, where the Lions were 1-6 to start off the year, and then they finished their season at 9-8 and almost made the playoffs. You dumb fucks. That was because even when the Lions were 1-6, they had back performances where their offense was clicking. It was because of their defense. That was the reason why the record was 1-6 to start off the year. Even the most dumbest Detroit Lions fan, aka Don Burr, will tell you that was the whole reason they started off the year 1-6. The Bears right now are far beyond from what the Detroit Lions were last year, because at least the Lions had back-to-back performances where they looked good. Matt Eberflus has yet to have a back-to-back win so far in his Bears career. As Fast Sports Talk said, he's a dead man walking. He's going to get fired at the end of the year, most likely, because he's done. Nothing changes so far as my thoughts of Matt Eberflus being here next year. As far as the defense, Matt Eberflus has done a good job. But as a team overall, he's done absolutely putrid. And I can't think of any quarterback that would succeed with the circumstances that Matt Eberflus has had. And I given Matt Eberflus the benefit of the doubt. I was patient as hell with Matt Eberflus because I'm like, okay, he didn't have the right personnel to work with. But the offense and defense are way better than last year. On paper. Adding guys like Tremaine Edmonds, DJ Moore, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright. There were so many upgrades on this Bears defense. Yannick Ngakoue, Andrew Billings. There was so much upgrades on this Bears defense, on this Bears team overall than it was last year. And to think of it, last year was way better than this year so far. Because at least last year, even though we were on a losing streak to end the year, you saw progression from the offense. You saw improvement from the quarterback that gave you high hopes for this year. Now, you're questioning yourself that he's the guy, if he's the guy going forward, or if the Bears are most likely going to draft another quarterback. And I already know how this is going to end. It's like watching a movie and you already know the end to it. At the end of the season, this January, George McCaskey, after firing Matt Eberflus, depending if Ryan Poles is also in the press conference or not, he's going to say, and I quote, "We are going to search for our new head coach, and we're going to trust and believe in Bill Polian to hire our next head coach. Then we will hire somebody that has a relationship or somewhat good relationship with the McCaskies. Then the organization will possibly, depending how they handle the Justin Fields thing, most likely they would want to move on from Justin Fields. Then they're most likely going to draft a quarterback. Drake Maye, Bo Nix, Jordan Travis. Then the first year, you see some flashes of greatness, but we have a losing season. We'll fire our general manager, Ryan Poles. Then we bring in a new general manager, and it's the same story all over again. When will it end? We can hit the reset button when it never works. Here's a fun stat that I'll always bring up to everybody when they keep saying you have to draft until you get it right. Do you want to know how many quarterbacks the Bears have gone through or have at least started for the Bears since 2006? 30. Don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. The Bears have had 30 starting quarterbacks since 2006. Most in the NFL. Does that scream organization problem? Yes, it does. And you want to know why I'm pissed off? Because I seen the Raiders, who were much of a dumpster fire than these Chicago Bears, like I said, had the 31st ranked offense and worst defense still, had Josh McDaniels as their head coach. Like I said, the Las Vegas Raiders are a way worse organization than these Chicago Bears. Yet, I've seen this week, they decided to clean house. They fired Josh McDaniels and they fired their general manager. And they benched Jimmy Garoppolo. No, I'm not out on Ryan Poles this far. Because you want to know why? And I have a theory. And it's actually a proven theory if you go back and look. I don't think Matt Eberflus was necessarily a quote-unquote Ryan Poles hire. It was a George McCaskey hire because Matt Eberflus is engaged to one of the local McCaskies. Why did his job resume look good? Because he was engaged to one of the McCaskies. So it was automatic that Eberflus has had the job. So, no. I will sit here and tell you that that's not a Ryan Poles hire. That was a George McCaskey hire. And we could talk about, and I criticized Ryan Poles on moves that he did before. Trading a high-value second-round pick on Chase Claypool, drafted Velus Jones Jr., kept Cody Whitehair as a Chicago Bear instead of cutting him, instead of drafting a center in the draft. Luke Weiber would have been so much better, but I digress. It was not his hire. He has to lie in front of y'all faces. He's not going to straight up bash the guy, because if he even bashed the dude in the first place, it would look bad on him. He has to lie about Matt Eberflus. He has to say he believes that he could turn things around. It's his duty. If he didn't, you would be hearing all over the news about how the Bears general manager and the head coach are not on the same page. So, of course, he has to lie. And to all you fans that call yourself Bears fans, why do you waste your hard-earned work money that you work hard on a basis you pay $20 to park? You spend your money on food concessions there. You waste hundreds and hundreds of dollars of your hard-earned money that you could have done anything else to watch this garbage product every week in Soldier Field when they should be paying you to watch this. And even then, you still don't want to watch it because why would anyone want to watch the garbage Bears? You fans need to realize that this ownership does not care about you. They care what comes out of your hard-earned, your wallet of your hard-earned money that you worked for on a daily basis. And I am absolutely going to stop caring. And I'll still do videos on the Bears. Don't get me wrong. Because this is what this channel has become. A Bears channel. I stopped caring how this hyping up this team as far as it goes. This ends when you realize it. Hurt the McCaskies where it hurts them the most. Their pockets. But you're still going to go to Bears games. I know you will never listen to me. So, like I said, continue to suck off the McCaskies. That's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.